Hello and welcome to the Stamp Camp. I'm Glenda Calkins, your independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Today I have another one-sheet wonder technique to show you. This time we are going to create 6 easel cards. Yes, 6 different easel cards using one 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock. Let's change the camera and get started. All right, isn't this gorgeous? This is the sheet of cardstock that I'm going to cut up, and we are going to create 6 different easel cards using this one 12 by 12 sheet. This gorgeous print came from the Painted Christmas 12 by 12 Designer Series papers. They are just gorgeous, but this print hit me, and I made 6 different easel cards from one sheet, and I love it. Now it coordinates with the Christmas season bundle. You have the holly berry and then the pine cones and different leaves, and then you have all these different die cuts to fit the pine cones, some of the leaves. What I also love about this set is these frames. So all I used was these 2 sets and then the Christmas to Remember stamp set for all the different sentiments for the cards. So I love it that the bundle has the framelits that I wanted to use. It has the die cuts for the stamps. Love it. And it is part of this Designer Series paper. So let's get started cutting this up. Super easy. You don't need a template just because it is going to be so easy to cut up. We are going to cut it in strips of 4" by 12 to start out. So we're going to get 3 of those out of this one sheet, 4 by 12. And because sometimes the paper isn't true 12 by 12, sometimes it's a hair bigger, and that will throw off my measurements. This one looks pretty good, but there's just a little bit. So there we have our 3 strips of 4 by 12. Now we're going to start with our first strip, or any strip, it doesn't matter, and we're going to cut this at 4. So you're going to get 3 pieces that are 4 by 4. And again, I'm going to just, well, this one, it doesn't really matter. All right, so we're going to go card by card with our strips. So we got the first 4 by 4 strip here. And actually for this first card, I'm going to cut this down to 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. So yes, you are going to have little teeny little scraps on this one sheet wonder, but you're going to love these cards. All right, so the first easel card, let's get this straightened out here, that I'm going to do is a twisted easel. Get my stuff in here. So the base of my card is the Evening Evergreen, which I got from the Designer Series paper. This is cut 4 1/4 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4, and then it's scored on the diagonal, like so. So it's going to be a twisted easel like this. So just make sure that you score your pieces really well. So 4 1/4 by 8 1/2, basically 4 1/4, fold it in half, and then you're going to score from point to point. Let me make sure this is straight here. That looks good. So you're going to score that from outside to inside, and then that will be back like this. Then you need a piece of soft succulent. We have 1 for the inside, and 1 is going to go right here on the front like that. So it's going to twist and stand up. That's how your easel is going to work. So we're going to go ahead and attach this to the inside. Where is my adhesive? Good, there it is. So go ahead and attach that to the inside. That is 4 by 4. Now all the dimensions will be found on my blog. Under the video, it will say show more, and you can click on the direct link to my blog post and you will find all the measurements. If you need any of the supplies, please visit my blog, my store, which you will find under the video. For all the supplies that I use today, you'll find the links under the video. Click on any of those links, and I just, talking too much, messed that up because we only want to tape on this first half. So let me go ahead. Where's my adhesive eraser? That's what I get for talking and not paying attention to what I'm doing. So you learn from my mistakes. Now these adhesive erasers, you can find them on my blog under product offerings. They are not sold through Stampin' Up! Anymore, but you can order them. And if you go to my blog at the very top, it'll say other product offerings or something like that. And you can pick up one of these adhesive erasers. Saves the day. All right, so I think I'm good to go there. Should be good. So we're going to attach this. My point is just a little bit off, which is driving me nuts. There we go. So we're going to attach this. Make sure I got the right one. Just center that on the front like so. And you know now to only put glue there. That went a little crooked. There, much better. So you can see how it easels. Now, again, I took the little framelets from here. So on the front, I did a double frame. So I did the earliest evening evergreen, and then I did the Holly Jolly Christmas. So we're going to go ahead and attach this to our front. Just kind of center that in there, like so. Then I went ahead and stamped and die cut out those gorgeous pine cones from the Christmas season. So I'm going to just take some adhesive and I'm going to place that right there. And then we're going to take some adhesive on the pine cones. And if you want your pine cones to go like in a different direction, I mean, place them however you like. And then I did one of the dies, the little smaller one down, and the Have a Jolly Christmas. That is from the Christmas to Remember. I put some dimensionals on there, and I only did them across the bottom so they wouldn't get in the way there of those. And then, to finish it off, I love, love, love these. Let me see, where did they go? Oh, I might have to grab another pack. These gorgeous brushed metallic dots. Deciding which color to use. I like the bronze and the gold, but you could also do the copper. But I did one there, kind of one in that point there, and then a little one up here. Okay, so now we got to get our little part inside. So what I did was I used this die and I stamped, may this be a Christmas to remember, but look at, it's smaller. So what I did was I die cut it out and I wanted it just to be smaller. So once I die cut it out once, I brought it in again and I just brought my framelit down and I cut off just that little top section there to make it smaller. So you can use the framelits to make any size that you want just by moving it. So like here's one die cut out. So if I wanted to make it smaller, I just put it back in my die, my cut and emboss machine, bring it down as far as I want it and cut it. And then I have a nice smaller die. So that's a little trick for you with those dies. You can use them way more than what you were thinking. So I'm going to go ahead and this is already popped with dimensionals. So I'm going to open this up And I'm just going to pop it up across the bottom here. Line that up. Come in with some more of those gorgeous metallic jewels or dots, I guess. And there you have that easel. So that's card number 1. Isn't that cool? Now, you say, well, I really don't have a place to write. So if you want, here's an option. You can place this, which is 4 by 4 piece of white on the back. So you have a place to write. So our next 4 by 4 piece right here, we are going to make another easel like this one, and this is a bookbinding easel. So we're going to come in with our evening evergreen, and this is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 4 1/4 and at 5 1/2. So fold it in half on that half line. Then you can go ahead and fold it back on that 4 1/4 line. And then you're going to score that from point to point. So we want it from this point scored to the score line here. And that is going to go like that. So first we're going to bookbind it. We're going to take our adhesive and we're going to come in here. And then we have our piece here. So we're going to take our 4 by 4 piece and we're going to cut it onto the diagonal. Make sure I got this going in the right direction, like so. And we're going to go ahead and glue those in place. So go ahead and get them right up to that score line, pretty close, but you want I want it even. There we go. Do the same with this one. Okay. Then what you're going to do is I took the bigger die cut it out, stamped on that. We're going to attach it only here so that when it easels, it's not stuck down. I'm going to kind of put it to the side here. Let me see. Come over just a hair. This time we're going to come in with a couple other leaves. I want to stay within my card perimeter here. So these are just some of the leaves from that Christmas to Remember stamp. No, it's the Christmas season stamp set. And then I'm going to pop up the pine cone. Like so. I have another piece of that soft succulent 4 by 4 that's going to go on the inside. Just like that. Now my piece that is going to easel, hold the easel, is this little one right here. Let's see where I stuck. Yeah, okay. This is going to easel up. I'm going to put it right here in this bottom corner, like so. So it's going to catch it, just like that. All right, and then I'm going to come in with those gorgeous jewels again. And you're saying, well, this part, we're going to get to that. Don't worry, it is going to be gorgeous, but we got to go through some of the other cards. I just didn't want to throw you off with all the cut of the designer series paper. So we'll be coming back to that. But that is card number 2's easel. It is a bookbinding twisted easel. All right, so card number 3 is a double easel. It's going to look like this. So it actually opens up to a regular size card. So now we're going to take one of our other 12 by 12 strips here. So it's 4 by 12. We're going to cut it down to 4. It might be easier if I just cut it at 5 1/4 and then at 5 1/4. And we have this strip, which is going to go on one of our cards. So we're going to take that first piece that was 4 by 5 1/4, and we're just going to cut it down to 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. Whoops. Then we'll bring in our card base, which is the Evening Evergreen. Then this is 4 1/4 by 11. Fold it in half at 5 1/2. We have a piece for the inside. This is just 4 by 5 1/4 white. And we can put that piece that was extra on the bottom. Just like that. Let's see. Now, if you want to, you can take the stamp set, the Evening Evergreen, and kind of that pine leaf there, I guess that would be, and take a pine cone. On the inside, you probably don't want to pop it up. You want to leave it flat. So that takes care of that. Now we're going to do the easel part. So you have a piece that is 4 by 10 1/4, and then it's scored at 2 1/2 and at 5. So go ahead and fold it on those score lines. Burnish that really well, so you should have it like this. And that is going to come on the front here. We're going to take our designer series paper here. You're going to take that other 4 by 4 piece that we had left over, and you're going to cut a piece of that for the front here. So we need to trim it down. First, I'm going to cut this at 2 3/8. 2 3/8. And then I'm going to trim that down to 3 7/8. That was our little 4 by 4 piece from the first cut. And that's going to fit right there. So we can go ahead and get these all attached. Sometimes the liquid glue, when you have just that little showing, is much easier to work with because you have that flexibility to move it. I think I'm going to use it on the bigger piece. There we go. So that is ready to go on our card front. You're just going to center that on there. These easel cards look technical, but they're not very easy to do. So we're this far. I've got my cutout again, stamped. I'm getting a glare. There, that's probably better. Stamped with the Evening Evergreen ink. So we're going to put adhesive just across the bottom part of this. And it's going to go kind of center it on the front. Like so. And then I have some pine cones and some sprig here. So we're going to place that, stay within the perimeter of your card again. Put your adhesive on here. Like so. Take one of those pine cones. I don't think I need that one. I'm going to come in with those jewels. I love these jewels. They just finish off these cards so gorgeous. So that is your double easel. I think I already went ahead and finished the inside. Yep. So that's your double easel. Cute. Now this was the piece that was left over from that 4x4 that we cut off. So I'm going to bring it in here and we're just going to trim it pretty much just in half. Or as close, it really doesn't matter because these are going to go on these leftover pieces. So that's going to go on that card front there. Actually, that should have been 1 inch. So that was pretty close. That was good. So that goes on there. So that finished off that one. This other little piece goes back to card number 1 on the back side here. We're going to put it right across the edge. So I've used up, except for like those little 1/8 of an inch pieces that I've cut off, I've used up this whole 12x12. So that finished up that one. Gorgeous. Okay, now we're coming into card number 4, which we have this piece left over. Let's see, I've done 1, 2, 3. I've got 3 more to go. So we have this piece right here, which is 4 by 5 1/4. Our base of our card is the Evening Evergreen. So I've done 3, so this is card number 4. This one is an easy one. Well, I guess I didn't score this. I was supposed to score this again because we got to make the easel. So 5 1/2 would be 2, 5 1/2, 2, 4, 2 1/2, no, 2 3/4. So 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. And you're going to fold that. It should be exactly half. And then I have another piece that is 4 by 5 1/2. I got this easel going the wrong way. Should be like that. That's going to fit right over top. This is going to come on here. So let's go ahead and attach all that. This is your typical standard easel that you've probably made before. Pretty simple, pretty easy. I want to put my adhesive only on the bottom portion here. I'll put a piece right underneath my score line because then I know I've gotten that there, and you're just going to match this up perfectly. so then it easels like that. All right, so my sentiment is going to go on the inside. I have another big one with the sentiment, and that's going to be stuck on the front. Just go ahead and kind of center that like so. Take your sprigs here, and that's going to go there. And then I have one oddball leaf, but I liked it. This was with the soft succulent ink. And then we're going to pop up our pine cone. This we'll put on the inside, but I have another piece that I need to attach, which we'll get to after I cut up the next strip. So I'm going to bring in my jewels. This time I'm going to go with the gold. Just put a little different color on. You can choose which one you like better. So we'll get to this, finishing this after my next strip. So the next strip we need to cut up. Again, this is 4 by 12. We're going to cut this at 5 1/4. 5 1/4. This is the strip I need for that card inside that I just did, so we'll get to that. We're going to take these two that are at 5 1/4 and we're going to cut them at 2 1/8. So we got 2 strips, and we're going to take the other one and cut that one at 2 1/8. So we'll finish off that last card with our little strip here. That's going to go in the bottom. And I did add a piece of white. Let me grab that. So 4 by 5 1/4 white. We're going to attach this to the bottom. Come on. All right, so that's going to go across the bottom. Now we can go ahead and stick it inside of our card with a little hang off right here, so I'll trim that. Going to go on the inside here like so. Then we have our season's greeting ready to be popped up. I'm going to put that right across here like that. That's going to give it a nice stand. Come in with some more of those gold pearls. Now those are kind of big. We'll go the smaller ones. Like so. There you go. That finished that one. Now we'll move on to our, 2 double strips here, which I cut wrong. How did I manage to do that? That is going to change the look of my thing here. All right, so our card base is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, and it is scored at 4 1/4 and 2 1/8. So which one of these is not? That looks good. So we're just going to trim this down. I'll have the correct measurements under the blog. So I don't know where they went off, but I think it was supposed to be 2 and 2. That is what it was supposed to be, 2 and 2. And I got to do that for the next card too. So 2 and 2. So we'll just be a little bit different, but that's okay. It's going to work out perfect. I'm not concerned. In fact, I might cut those 2 that are too wide to be the same size as these, which is probably 1 7/8, which is correct. So that's where I went wrong. Instead of cutting them in half at 2 1/8, they should have been cut in half at 2 inches. No worries though. Correct. Let me see. Now let's see if I can match up the ones that gotta be. It doesn't really matter if they match, but I kind of want them to. Maybe I won't want them to. I've turned them around so much. Yep, it's not gonna happen. That's okay. I don't think you're gonna notice because the print is going in every direction anyway. So we're gonna go ahead and attach these pieces now. So yours will be 2 inch by 5 1/4. Mine are 1 7/8. But that's okay. It's gonna work out. Maybe I'm onto something. All right, so this is going to easel like this. So it's going to be a horizontal easel. We have a piece of that soft succulent 4 by 5 1/4 for the inside. All right, so for our outside, I have the sentiment again stamped, but this time I did it on the horizontal and I changed up the stamp set. We're going to attach just the bottom half, of course, because we don't want to interfere with our fold there. So you're going to kind of center that, kind of right down like that. We're going to come in with our greenery again. And I want to stay in the perimeter of the card here so that it will fit inside the envelope. So we're going to kind of do like that. Then I'm going to come in with my pine cone. I'm going to catch that just like that. I have another pine cone here. We're going to take this green and we're going to come over here. I'm going to take this pine cone, pop that up like that. Maybe I'll come up a little bit more. Come in with your jewels. Like so. For the inside, I have Merry Christmas already die cut, popped up. So we're going to bring that to the inside here. Kind of center that. You can bring it up as far as you need. I think that looks good. Put our jewels on there as well. There you go. That is your horizontal easel. And we're down to our final easel card. This one is going to be a vertical easel. Bring all my pieces here. Same, the base is cut the same. It is 5 1/4 by 8 1/2, scored at 2 1/8 and 4 1/4. So go ahead and fold that in half. Fold that score line to the inside. But this time we're going to make a vertical easel card. So you're going to take your 2 strips. This is all that we have left over. And you're going to attach them on either side or both sides of that score line on the front. Like so. Now we're going to take our gorgeous sentiment here, and you're going to want 2 circles. Now these are 1 1/2 inch circles. You're going to punch them out, die cut them, whatever you have for circles. Fold them in half. Get them nice and creased there. Fold it in half. You're going to take your liquid glue. On the center, and you're going to go on both sides of that score line and attach those folded circles. So it's going to go just like this. Now I will fold it up just so I come up with them to that top of that. That's why the liquid glue is so you can move it. Works good. Just need to move this up just a hair. I want it right at the top of the ridge here. So that it's even there on both sides. All right, and what that's going to do is when we open it, it's going to pivot it so that it stays nice and flush. So now we're going to put, let's see, did I go too high? Now we're going to, you don't want to cover up that ridge, but now we're going to come in with the glue. Take our sentiment, center that. I'm going to just hold that in place there. We're going to come in with our greenery here. So I'm going to put some adhesive on the back. We're going to come in so that we stay within the card here. Like so. I'm going to take one of those pine cones. And we're going to pop that up. I'm going to take a couple of these greens. And I'm going to put them over here. Like so. Take another pine cone. Put that there. Come in with my gorgeous gems here again. Like so. Now for the inside, I have a piece of white. I'm going to go ahead and attach that. This is 4 by 5 1/4. Center that. So to get our easel for the inside, I'm going to just apply some pine cones kind of on the side here. We'll do 3 of them. Get dimensionals here. We are almost done. These one sheet wonders are so fun to do. The cards are gorgeous. You know what? I think I want my pine cone to go down. There we go. So cute. Kind of place them so that your easel will hook, and then I just put a nice little gold just give that nice little accent like that. So cute. So you can see, actually that's how it is, but it will stand up like this in easel. Isn't that fun? Love those easels. This was a great bundle to work with for this one sheet wonder. I love that print. Again, I used the Christmas to Remember stamp set for the sentiments, the Christmas season bundle for the dies and to die cut out the leaves and the pine cones. So here are your 6 easel cards using that one sheet of designer series paper. Let's see, how am I going to get this so that it's in? So there's one. Here's this one, which is your typical standard. This is your double easel. We have the bookbinding twisted easel. Look at these, aren't they gorgeous? And then your regular twisted easel. Ah, how fun is that? If you need any of the supplies, please visit my blog, www.TheStampCamp.com. If you click on Show More under the video, you will get the direct link to the blog post. You will get the supply list. Click on any of those supplies that you need, and it will bring you to my online store where you can order any of the supplies that you need. I love any and all orders. I appreciate that so very much. If you are new to my YouTube channel, make sure that you like, share, subscribe. Click on that bell in the upper right-hand corner so you always know when I go live. That is it for today. Thanks for stopping by.